Right, if you know Hecate, then you will know one of the most famous things said about her from her myths is that Zeus was scared of her. Zeus was afraid of her. But it is not just Hecate, it's also Nyx that it said Zeus was scared of her too. Well, why is this? What makes these two goddesses stand out so that the king of the gods himself would tremble and bow to them? Why? Let's answer it. Let's get into it. Okay, if you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm Sarah, that divination witch. This channel is a community and safe space, meaning you can ask questions, share opinions. We don't always have to agree, but we don't tolerate crap here, alright? Any of that is yeeted. If you want to join, hit subscribe. And if you want to support me, help me keep doing videos, all of my links are in the description. I'd be grateful if you could take a look. I offer readings. I've got Patreon. I'm teaching on there. We've got a community on there. We're going through a path working. Lots going on. So, yeah, go check it out. Thanks. So, Zeus, king of the gods, the all-powerful Zeus, scared of two relatively obscure titans. I mean, they weren't obscure really, but if we look at it through a modern lens, you know, everyone and their dog knows about, I don't mean to say it like that, but that's actually ironic. But yeah, everyone and their dog knows about the Olympians. Every Greek movie, like Greek mythology movie, Clash of the Titans, all this jazz, or modern takes on ancient Greece, Hecate, Nyx and other titanesses would be more obscure. Do you get me? And yet, for all they're obscure in a modern standard, they are not in a more ancient standard, and also in the broader scheme of things. So why would he be afraid of them anyways? Who are these people? What is this about? So, well, if you're here, you'll probably know I worship, venerate, work with Hecate. She's one of my main goddesses. I have a lot of videos about her, like over 100, if not more. And essentially, she is, well, if you look her up, yeah, it said she's a goddess of witches and witchcraft, but actually, she's a goddess of the threshold, of the liminal space. That is a lot. So she rules over, you know, crossroads, gateways, doorways, the in-between spaces of things, including life and death, and including the aspects of death and the aspects of life. So like being a psychopomp, which is ferrying the dead to the other side, and being a midwife, essentially, helping life come forth. She ruled over justice. She ruled over things to do with your health, because essentially being this goddess of the liminal, even in the Hellenic guise only, she had a say in everything. Because if we think about what is a liminal space, it's a space in between. So it could be literal like a doorway or crossroads, more symbolic like life and death, but also it could be like the shadows. It could be, if we zoom it right into the atoms of things, like she is the fabric of reality. Essentially, she's a personification of the glue that holds everything together. That's how deep it can get. And even in her Hellenic guise, I think they had an understanding of that, because if you look Hecate up, she's got so many epithets that rule over so many different things. She's got domain in so many different things that it's like, well, of course, for all she is overlooked by modern culture, you know, it's normally Zeus and the Olympians that are talked about the most. She's much more than that. Even if she normally just appears as a side character in modern depictions of her, she was not a side character, let me tell you. But this sums up her personality to me, because she's so powerful, yet she doesn't ask for much. She really doesn't. She never did. She doesn't need people to praise her on high and make all these epic stories about her and things, although I think she deserves that personally. She doesn't ask for it, she doesn't need it. So because she's so powerful, she had dominion over everything, it was natural for Zeus to be like, okay, we've got to have her on side. Think of Zeus. He took power from his father. His father, Kronos, the god of time, the god of Saturn. He was a god of many things as well, but he was threatened by his children. This is obviously from the myths. Because his own father destroyed some of his children, siblings. Kronos thought, okay, I need to get ahead of the game here because prophecy states this will happen to me too. So I'm sure he had to kill his own father. Kronos then thought, right, I'm going to kill my children. So he ate his children, he consumed them. And the symbolism in that too, because it's like he wanted to consume their power. He wanted to embody everything about them. So his children were the Olympians. Zeus is the youngest, technically. But Hera, Hestia, Hades, Poseidon, etc. Yep, he ate them. Zeus being the youngest, his mother hid him away, and he was raised on Crete apparently, and he was raised in secret, and he rose up in the Titanomachy and fought his own father, his I nearly said children, his siblings escaped from their father, and they all fought. It was Clash of the Titans, literally. The Titanomachy, Hecate didn't choose a side. For all she's labelled as a Titaness, she didn't choose a side. See, the Titans were personifications of things. They were the older gods, and if you think of it like a family tree, we start off with Chaos, who then births Gaia, and I think it's Uranus first, and then she births the next generation, and then so on it goes and goes and goes. Hecate wasn't as Hecate, like one of the first. Nyx was, though, which we'll get to Nyx in a bit. But Hecate was the personification of the threshold, and she was kind of this anomaly. In the Hellenic myth, she was born of Asteria and Perseus, goddess of the stars, god of rage. And she embodied all these qualities. Like I say, she was an anomaly, and she stands out like a sore thumb, to be honest, because she does predate this mythos. She is much more than just Hecate, and that's obvious once you drill into it. But if we think to what was happening then, she didn't take a side. There's a reason for that. She's the goddess of the liminal. She knows and sees all. She's the fabric of reality. I see her now as the creator. The Chaldean oracles saw her as a creator too. But even if you don't see her as a creator, she is at the very least the glue holding everything together. And what she says goes because of that. So if a war breaks out, in general, any war, she will determine who deserves to win and who doesn't. So Zeus, at a very pivotal moment, is fighting his father and some of the Titans. He doesn't want to piss off the woman that has sway, whether he wins or loses. He also doesn't want history to repeat. So when he does seize power and he does ultimately win, he wants to make sure that he has her on side, that he doesn't cheese her off for another day and let her do her thing, because ultimately he knows she is more powerful than him. But even though that's the case, she's not the power that is power hungry. And even now, I've said it before in videos, she doesn't require a lot, because she's above all of this. She doesn't require fanfare and all this jazz. Like I've already said in this video too, these grand depictions of her, it's nice. Doesn't need it though. So ultimately Zeus wants her on side because of the power she holds. When it comes to Nyx, it's the same, essentially. I see Hecate and Nyx as kind of one and the same. They are their own women, yes, their own stories behind them, their own personalities, and I'm not saying that the ancient Greeks thought they were exactly the same or anything like that, but I am saying it through what Hecate has been teaching me, through things I've been talking about on the channel so far. I mean, I've got a whole series comparing her with other deities by her request. I just want to add that. Because she is so linked, because she's that glue that holds everything together. Now, when it comes to Nyx, she is the personification of the night. And she is one of the first generations of Titans. She is Gaia's child. Because she is so primordial in her own right, she rules over the night time. That's something so natural that has always been there, you know. So that's why she is one of the first. But the night time wasn't necessarily what we think of it. Nyx herself is so powerful. Nyx has many children that are so powerful too. You've got the Furies, you've got Eris, you've got Morpheus. Morpheus is her grandchild, apologies. Hypnos, then Morpheus, apologies. You've got Thanatos, Isis, so many others as well. I haven't named everyone, but these are gods and goddesses of pain and misery and death, peaceful death, vengeful death, you know, like so many things that all kind of fall under the umbrella of night. Because even though some of them aren't bad per se, it's normally things we don't want to address. Apart from Hemera, I believe, her daughter, who is the goddess of the dawn, the sun, the morning, light in that way. There's light in the darkness, there's hope in the darkness. And that in itself, sorry, I'm doing this because I'm getting a download of Hecate right now, which kind of, she does this, helps me put things in my own understanding, which I never thought of it this way. So if Hecate has a load of different epithets, I'm not saying Nyx doesn't have epithets, but she's got epithets of like Phosphorus, which is the morning star, which is the light. She's got heavenly epithets. She's got chthonic epithets, filthy, brimo, all sorts. I can't think off the top of my head. But she does every single one of them things. She can be chaos, she can be death, she can be the dawn, she can be anything you want her to be, she can be. Well, instead of it being epithets, it's Nyx's children. Kind of makes sense in that way. I hope that made sense. That's how she's put it in my head to understand. It's like, well, I have epithets, Nyx has children. Anyways, the night is in between time, essentially. That's why I see Nyx and Hecate as kind of one and the same, and they've manifested very, very similar, not just for me, but for other people I've read for, who I've had on the channel. I've mentioned this in a video, Hecate and Nyx. I've already compared them. If you want to go watch it, it's on the channel, on that series. So it's no mistake that they manifest so similar, because the nighttime is in between. The ancients didn't just think of it as night, they thought of it as the space between days. Because they didn't mark the passing of time the same way we do with our Gregorian calendars and modern ways of time telling. They would have looked at it as, right, this is the liminal between the next sunrise, and that's when Nyx was in control. And that's when a lot of things happened, like sleep is one such thing. Again, this is a download that's just happening right now, but sleep, chaotic things could happen, sadness, misery at night time, death in sleep, vengeful death, like all these things happened of an evening, of an in-between, of a liminal space-time, and then her other daughter, the sunrise, brings it to a full circle. All these things are born of night. All these things are born of the liminal space. That's who Nyx is. And I didn't realise to put it like that until Hecate's just done that in real time. I hope that made sense, because that has blown my mind, actually. And it's like fresh news to me too. I'm like, oh, yes, no the wonder. So, all right, I've gone on a ramble. That's who Nyx is. Why is Zeus scared of her? Very much the same reasons. Look at all of her children. All of her children she is in control of, per se. She is the one that gave them life, birthed them, gave them dominion, gave them purpose and power. She calls the shots. Again, Zeus don't want to piss those off. He's a wise king, if anything. He knows he needs to make allies, friends in high places too. He knows that Nyx isn't out there trying to be ruler of the gods, because she already has the power. She don't need that. She doesn't need a crown on her head in that way. She has it, whether he likes it or not, so he can either be friends with her, or friendly, or civil, or whatever, allies, or make an enemy of that. And therefore, history could repeat. So that, in my understanding, is why Zeus is afraid of these ladies. And both these ladies, whether they're separate, whether they're one and the same, it doesn't matter. I know obviously the ancients would have put them separately, we know that. But they are all powerful, and they don't need crowns on their heads to say it, even though sometimes they're depicted with crowns, sure. They don't need the title of queen. They are sovereign within themselves. They don't need validation. And that's why the likes of Zeus would appease them. So I hope that has helped. I felt really drawn answering that one. I think by Hecate herself as well, to be honest, because I've not heard people dissect it, to be honest. Now, I'm not a historian. I'm saying it from a worshipper's point of view, a pagan, a polytheist, someone who venerates these higher powers' point of view. That's the way I see it. That's the way I understand it. If you understand it any differently, share it below. Absolutely fine. If you work with either of them, let us know your experience. Share and help each other out. Now, if you like this, hit subscribe. Check out my playlist on Hecate, over 100 videos. And yeah, until next time, stay safe, stay witchy. Bye.